When it comes to Magic cards, understanding and looking at market trends is kind of an everyday follow-up. You want to know what's going on. And right now what's happening with reserve list spending and the fact that the prices on the reserve list continue to fall just makes the reserve list more attractive and is starting to give it a kick in the pants. It looks like the reserve list is starting to show signs of life. I feel like I have to start today's video off with like that thing from Frankenstein. It's alive. It's alive. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me for the Sunday edition of the Top 10 Reserve List edition, because this is that time of the week where I focus a lot on what's happening in the reserve list secondary market, what's happening in the overall sales, and the feeling we're getting on the reserve list. Most people really don't care. There's a very small subset of players, but there's some stuff going on we need to talk about today in the video, so it's going to be kind of interesting. Before we actually get to the Yellow Brick Road Top 10, we have some stuff to go over before we get to that point, so stick around. Now, of course, before we start the video, thanks again to everyone who's been hitting the subscribe button. Notification bells on, videos thumbs up, commenting, and joining the conversation of Magic here on the channel, because we are getting closer every day to the 20,000 subscriber mark, which is, of course, the big party we're going to have. It's going to be epic. I've already started ramping up things because we're going faster than anticipated right now, which means I got some buying to do to make sure things all fit and work properly with the Moxman's plan. So stick around. At 19,000 subscribers, the rules will come out explaining the party and giving people kind of a feel what's going on. And if you're new to this channel and you didn't know this, at the end of the video there's like a little secret Marvel scene. I don't usually tell it that often, but there's like a Marvel scene at the end where I tell and give little clues and hints to stuff going on in the channel that most people miss, but we have a very diligent crowd who do watch till the end. So thanks again, guys, and you should probably go back and watch a few older videos if you've missed them. So here we are, reserve list top 10. Crazy stuff going on, because as these prices continue to fall, and they really are falling, from the lowly end Thrall Champion to Soldevi Excavations, the card of the channel, all hail the mighty Soldevi, to everything in between, including Power 9 cards, prices are falling. And they're falling to the point where they're starting to look very attractive for anyone who kind of always wanted to have one, and for those who can afford to do so, they are starting to buy. We've hit that murky water where it just looks like it's too attractive to pass up on. Like, how low could it go? What's the risk versus the reward? Now, for the speculators out there, stay out. You're going to be waiting a very long time for any of these cards to truly gain in value. But for the players of this game, the price might be right. Okay, the price might be at that point where you're like, wow, that's so cheap. How can I pass up on it? If you're a person who wanted to get dual lands, if you're a person who tried to get a Wheel of Fortune, a Brain Geyser, or a Fork back in 2020 when these things were like $100 plus, I get it. Crazy stuff happens. Market goes, and FOMO kicks in, and things just took on a life of its own. But right now, we're almost back to that 2020 pricing right on the base level. Some of these cards are so cheap that it obviously is starting to attract people, because the upticks in sales we're going to talk about this week are way off the normal chart. And no, it's not super high-end cards everywhere, but it'll give you an idea of what's happening. Because remember, I'm only tracking on any given week, and thanks to Keto for helping out, I'm only tracking maybe 180 cards, give or take, on the reserve list at any given time. And if you're a person who's doing a mini buyout, maybe they sent me an email with like the confirmation of the sales and the receipts and stuff to go along with it. That does happen. So maybe we get a few extras here and there. So take all this stuff with a grain of salt, that there could be a lot more sales out there, Facebook groups and things that I'm just not tracking, or I can't data mine properly to get the information to make it accurate. So it's interesting to see. But let's go ahead and take a look at this, and remember, everyone, always mark what you think you should pay for a card. If you have a reserve list card you've always wanted, mark down what you think the price should be at before you buy. And if it reaches that level, take a second gander, make sure you think you're good, and then go ahead and purchase something if you think it's awesome. If not, skip it, move on to something you enjoy better. Let's go down the Yellow Brick Road together, number 10 to number 1, because this, you might say it's alive at the end of this video. You might just say it's alive. So here we go, guys. Welcome to your top 10. We start at number 10 and we go to number 1, because this is your top 10. Now, before we get started, understand the sales were very tight and very close this week. There are a lot of cards that have honorable mentions, and I have a piece of paper here. So, Lake of the Dead has an honorable mention. Winding Canyons, honorable mention. Tolarian Academy, honorable mention. Floodwater Dam, honorable mention. Okay, guys, they were all so close, they almost made the list, but they're not here. So number 10 is Scrubland from Revised Edition, 47 sales this week with an average price of $325.50 US. The market price is $330.22 US, €224.62 to get this card in your house in Canada. A damaged copy as low as $200, or you could buy a near mint as high as $450 Canadian for that card. So keep an eye on it. The prices are really ranging in a big swing right now, but the overall trend is still downward pressure on reserve list cards, which means all the cards I'm showing you should continue to slowly lose money unless there's a massive jump jolt of cash infusion buyouts to make people change their mind. But right now, that's not the case. No FOMO events are happening from what I can tell. Just a lot of concentrated buying with really good pricing that people just are not ignoring. Now, when we go ahead and take a look at number 9 this week, it is Soldevi Excavations. And of course, this is the card of MTG Moxman's channel. I have numerous copies myself, and it's amazing to see this card make it yet again. And of course, the price has been as high as around $47 US, and it's come all the way back down to an average price of $23.09 for a near mint copy, although, they're getting hard to find. So although they're out there, near mint copies are harder to find. The market price is $23.05, €12.66 to get this card your house, and it's around $40 here in Canada for near mint. So keep this stuff in mind. You guys know I love this card so much, but this card managed to slip into the number 9. So thanks a lot for people making that happen. I love it. I know I bought 4, but I'm not 48 sales, so that's kind of crazy. Let's go ahead and take a look at our number 8 card, and this is Undiscovered Paradise. I always think of Journey to the Center of the Earth and stuff like that when I see this card, or I think of the King Kong movie with Godzilla, where it's like that, his own private world inside the world. I think of that when I think of Undiscovered Paradise. Now, this card had 50 sales this week, and it's from Visions. This card right now is only $13.78 is the average. It's got a market price of $13.49, €13.44 to get this card to your house. Here in Canada, $20. Undiscovered Paradise. The artwork is very nice. It's a little basic, but I kind of like basic. It's nice. But you look at the card. Remember, they can add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, and then you have to pick it up. It's all good, guys. There's so many ways of using cards like this to your advantage that I can see why people like the card. Excellent card, super attractive price. I understand entirely. I myself don't have to buy anymore. I've got some for patrons. I've got a play set of 4. Remember my rule, you kind of want to have 4 just in case, but after that, anything else is kind of gravy that you may not actually need unless you just want to have a whole bunch. Number 7. Femrith Enchantress, and that of course is from Visions, slipping into the list this week. It has an average price of $18 US, the market price of $14.50, €9.35 to get this card to your house, around $20 here in Canada, but 51 sales is very respectable, and it's had a bit of a surge here in mid 2023 onward, where it seems to be retaining consistent sales, but it's never had higher than say 20 odd sales to make my list. This week's kind of like a double up of it, so it's very nice to see. For those who didn't know, I popped the card up here. 1 white, 1 green for a 1/2, but it says wherever an enchantment is put into your graveyard from play, draw a card. And of course, we all know Saga cards, can go to the graveyard when they're done. Things can flip over. There's all kinds of things that let you draw nowadays that make cards like this that weren't attractive back in the day, very attractive now. So great card for people trying to build around it. Number 6 this week is Wheel of Fortune. I'm not kidding. It's Wheel of Fortune from Revised, and it's back. And there's reasons why. This card, and by the way, I'm looking at the average price here. 52 sales this week. It has a price tag of $299.96 US. The market price is $305.35, and of course, €201.27 to get this card to your house. Guys, this card in Canada for a heavily played copy is around $150 to $170 Canadian for heavily played. And a lot of these copies that are being bought are not near mint. When I see a lot of moderate to heavily played, even some damaged copies selling from Revised for even cheaper prices, that tells me it is players who want to play with them. They want to put them into commander decks. They want to roll this stuff up, and they actually just want to get a copy. They want to say, I own at least 1 Wheel of Fortune. Now, as a person who played, through all these eras, I remember buying this card for $1, okay? I understand it's a totally different world now. I do not have any near mint copies myself. I'd love to get one for a collection, but at the same time, I have 6 or 7 copies. They're all like beat up because I played as a teenager. People who've never had that opportunity, though, are now having a chance to get in. They can trade in like a shouldered, they can trade in some ledger shredders, and they can get their hands on this stuff, and that is where players are taking their price tag, okay? But a lot of this, by the way, was actually not trade-ins. It was just pure sales. So I'm just letting you know, it's not what I thought it would be, but there's a whole smattering of moderate, heavily played, and damaged copies, and a few lightly played as well, but crazy sales, guys. Now, number 5 this week is Brain Geyser. 59 sales. Okay, this again is one of those cards. It's been like $75, and now you can get this thing. I think on TCG Player, you can get it right now for around $10. And of course, this is that moment to show for myself. Moxman's got to make some money here. I'm stuttering. What can I say? You look at this card, and if you go on TCG Player, if you click the affiliate link found in the description of my video, and you're going after this card, you click the link, it takes you to TCG Player. You can go shopping for all you want. But the channel here gets a kickback every time you guys use my link. When you use my link, I get a 3.5% kickback. It lets me buy cards for the channel for stuff like the 20K giveaway. So it's amazing to have that opportunity to get some extra cash together. Helps the channel out. And it's free to do. Doesn't cost you a thing. So those who do it, thanks again for taking the time. Now, Brain Geyser, I've always loved the card. A very iconic piece of artwork from Magic's history. And of course, it says target player must draw X cards. Can't say may. Can't deny and say I don't feel like it. You're gonna draw the cards. Like the big Boov Brain. Remember those Boov Brain guys from that movie? What is it? Home? Yeah, that's what Mini Mox liked. I remember that movie. And they put the suction cup on their brain. Yeah, I know. I'm talking gibberish. I can't help it. It's a Saturday morning. Now, here's something very interesting that just doesn't come around on this channel very often. Underground Sea, revised edition, and you see on your screen right now, 72 sales. Now, this card has been falling in price, but the average price is going down. The market price is going down, which means heavily played, moderately played copies being bought for $400 or less is making it very attractive for players who have trade-in cards. This is where trading in is starting to pay off. The average price is $718 US. The market price is $686.52. €509.18 to get this card to your house. You can find it in Canada, heavily played, for around $600. Guys, people are buying dual lands. They're not buying near mint. They are buying dual lands. This is not speculators. This is not collectors. This is players. Players just like you at home saying, I think I have enough trade-in value. I can just take that to my local LGS. I can just go and do it. Or they have their own TCG account. And they go and sell a whole bunch of stuff. And they just flip the money into the brand new Underground Sea they never thought they would own. So congratulations. I've not seen this many sales, I think, on the top 10 here for reserve list in Underground Sea being at 72. So we're talking tens of thousands of dollars at this point. Crazy stuff to see, guys. Awesome, but very scary at the same time. So let's go ahead and take a look at the number 3 card this week, and that is Rainbow Veil. Fallen Empires, 76 sales this week. Average price tag, $7.99. The market price is $9.27. €6.82 to get that card into your house. Here in Canada, it's around $10. That's for near mint, though. If you're looking for a heavily played copy, $3 every day of the week. So it's a very affordable card for those who need to get it. Artwork, always something I like from Fallen Empires, although we didn't use this that much at the beginning. It's like 4 or 5 months after Fallen Empires came out, we all started realizing how awesome this card was. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. All right, guys, number 2, Conchorn hanging out again. This thing refuses to go away. 80 sales this week. This obviously is a small buyout because it's kind of a concentrated effort of sales in a very tight time span. So I know that this is happening because somebody wants to buy a whole bunch of copies. Average price, $4.88 US. Market price, $4.55 US. €4.38 to get this card into your house. And of course, for those who forgot what this does, I'm going to give you a big blow-up copy to look at. You can see she's blowing on the horn saying, look, I'm calling for help. I need more cards, more mana. Great stuff. All right, guys, you've waited. We're at the end of the Yellow Brick Road. We've done this together, and now we're looking at the number 1 card. And it bothers me. Okay, guys? I'm actually, hold on. I'm going to click this off for a second. Seriously, it bothers me. All right, now we're back on. So you look at this Fast Bond revised edition with 93 sales. Guys, what's going on? The card's banned in most formats. I like the card. I still play with my friends, but that's my little tiny play group. This is week 5. where this thing has been in the top 10 and it just shouldn't be here. It's kind of a running memeing joke now at this point where it's just like, why are you here? Who's buying it? I know there's a few people who admitted they're buying, play sets of 4. They're going for near mint. And by the way, this didn't make like a special thing, but there was also 27 copies, which of course doesn't make the list, but 27 unlimited copies of Fast Bond sold. So if anything happens and this thing gets unbanned, I'm calling Audible or something, because that's crazy. There's got to be a penalty somewhere because somebody knows something that none of us know about, because there's just too many copies going. Hopefully somebody's just collecting this card. Hopefully somebody's just building up copies, because 93 sales with an average price of $15.44 mark. It's really cheap when this card's been as high as $75. It just doesn't make sense. But also having 27 sales in unlimited means this thing technically as a total sold well over 100 copies, right? But I focused on the type, so it was revised. But also unlimited, so keep that in mind. Guys, thanks for being here. This was your top 10. This is the Sunday edition of your reserve list. This is crazy stuff. Looking forward to seeing you guys, of course, on the live stream, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Every Sunday we're here. Looking forward to sharing some fun times with you. I hope you all can make it there. I hope you don't miss it. It's going to be fun. And yeah, signs of life. We'll see how this pans out in the next couple of weeks. But there's been some money movement, especially on things like dual lands, like Bayou and stuff didn't make the list, but getting closer every day. Thanks a lot for hanging out, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for allowing me to entertain you. Hope you have an awesome day. And don't forget, bring a friend to Magic. It's the best. Oh, yeah. These are the patrons. There's no denying it. The supporters of the channel. The brave, the bold, the beautiful. You guys are amazing. Thanks again to the fantastic patrons of the channel. Thanks for your support, guys. It means a lot. Daily content. Seriously. I'm going to fix this right now. I'll see you guys tomorrow.